Before we get started, please go over to Amazon.com and grab a copy of my book, Education and Justice. If you have an African-American son in public school, you need this book because I teach you the many ways that public schools mistreat African-American boys and what you can do to help your son. So go over there and get your copy immediately. In this video, I'm speaking primarily to African-American men, to black men. And I want to start this video out by reading something to you. Please listen very closely. All right, this says, Americans fail to grasp the fundamentally predatory nature of the Black Power movement, rather than suppressing it forcefully and restoring the rule of law. The worse it behaved, the more they fed it. The result was and is a Negro population, which has essentially seceded from mainstream American culture, to the tremendous disadvantage of both parties. The resulting ghetto culture remains marinated with Black Power ideology, although it is now so distant from the lives of you or me that we only notice it when a Jeremiah Wright somehow swims into view. Now you hear how racist that was? Americans failed to grasp. What he should have said here was, whites failed to grasp, or white Americans failed to grasp the fundamentally predatory nature. Hear how racist that is? Of the Black Power movement. What is he talking about? The Civil Rights movement. As we fought to have basic rights and freedoms, he called that predatory in nature. He goes on to say that white America should have shut it down forcefully, restoring the rule of law. In other words, instead of allowing us to protest for our rights, they should have shut it down violently with force. He goes on to call us a Negro population. And then it resulted in what he described as ghetto culture. Ghetto culture. Okay? Now, let me just ask you a question. Who did that sound like? Did it sound like a eugenicist? A segregationist? A white supremacist? A white nationalist? All of the above? Well, it was really this man. Curtis Yarvin, aka Meniscus Moldbug, the godfather of the Red Pill movement, the ideological architect of MAGA's anti-democratic playbook. Yeah, I'm talking about that red pill, that MAGA. Yeah, that one, that Trump. So tell me again, brothers, why are you black men swallowing the red pill? Why? Tell me why. This red pill thing, it is not what you think. It's not about male empowerment. It's not about free thinking for myself. No, it's a Trojan horse. And inside that Trojan horse is a plan to restore total white dominance and to subjugate Black America like before civil rights, like during the Jim Crow era at least. And how does this plan to happen? Simple. We see it unfolding by killing democracy and crowning Trump a king, an autocrat, establishing authoritarianism so that they can crack down on the Negro population. This guy that you just saw here, Curtis Yarvin, again, the architect, the brainchild of this, using Negro to describe us, called our fight for civil rights predatory. This man, again, the man behind the red pill movement. And guess what? They're counting and planning on you black men to play a huge role in their devious plan. And what role are they planning for you to play? Well, at a minimum, providing enough votes to help Trump win the midterms. Because it worked in November 2024. Enough black men provided the votes to put him in office now. So they need you again. And that's why they're doing pardons, commutations, playing games with Black History Month, all while cutting the throat of the black community. They're going to be throwing out little stuff to keep you on board so that these pro-black imposters can say, see, Trump is for us. He's not against us. All while Trump is cutting the throat of the black community. This is not something that was cooked up overnight. This has been in the plans for a while. This is something that Mr. Yarvin has been working on for 2 decades. He has a vision, and it's dark. He says that democracy doesn't work. He says civil rights are a mistake. So he wants a CEO-style dictator running America, as if America is a company. And who is his prototype to run said country? Trump. And now we got black men, some of y'all helping him make that happen. It's a head scratcher. I'm not sure in American history that there have been so many African American men. We've always had that, but not so many publicly signing up to help white supremacists. And the guy that I keep referring to, Curtis Yarvin, he isn't just anti-black. He's anti-equality. He doesn't believe in equality at all. He thinks the whole ideal of equal rights, egalitarianism, is a lie. The man says and believes that society works best when a small group of white elites are ruling without any opposition. He wants to bring back hierarchy, real hierarchy, where race, class, and genetics determine who got the power. And what race are we talking about? The white race. What class? The ruling class. What genetics? European genetics, because in his mind, that's all superior to blacks. I'm not making this up. Do your research. And MAGA has embraced this full throttle. They're running with that vision. Yarvin has the ear of MAGA. He has the ear of people like Peter Thiel. And of course, Thiel backed Vance. And where's Vance now? He's the second man in control. And he has spoken favorably of Yarvin's ideology. So this isn't fringe. This isn't outsiders, outliers. No. No. His ideology is very much a part of what we see happening right now. It's their strategy. And you know what they call it? Project 2025. And as you see, they're trying to dismantle civil rights laws or have hijacked them and are now weaponizing civil rights laws against us. And not only that, crush dissent. Okay? Again, a dictator-style leader leading the country is what he advocates for. So this whole thing of firing government workers and replacing them with loyalists, yes, he's all behind that. Erasing Black history, he's all behind that. So when some of you take that red pill, you think you are awakening? No, you're not awakening. You're being used to bring about your own destruction, to bring about your children's destruction, to bring about your family's destruction, your community's destruction. This whole red pill thing, you know, it's something that came from this movie called The Matrix. You remember that? Where Morpheus offers Neo a red pill to awaken Neo from an illusion so that he could see the truth. You remember that in The Matrix? But today's red pill, oh, it's something very different. It's not about awakening and learning the truth. It's a poison. It started in online forums, 4chan and Reddit. And then it got picked up by angry men blaming women and feminism and immigrants and blacks for all their problems. And then it evolved and went even deeper and became this deeply racist, authoritarian, white nationalist movement. It's been percolating and circulating. And here we are now. It's in the White House. And who caused this evolution? Once again, Curtis Yarvin is a big part of it. He's a huge part of it. I recently watched a debate between him and a Black female Harvard professor. You ought to go and watch that debate on YouTube. So he's the guy who gave the movement its intellectual spine and prowess. He dressed it up in Italian philosophy, history, and strategy. I mean, he made it sound so smart and intellectual. And now it's infecting Black men. Black men in 2016, 8% of Black men supported Trump. 2020, it was 13%. And here in 2024 just passed, 21% of Black men, of Black male voters have taken that red pill. And why is it increasing? It's increasing because of influencers. like rappers, these pro-black imposters. You know, these folks who talk about building up the black community while pushing MAGA, while pushing Trump, while pushing this red pill garbage. They may not even themselves know where this racist crap is coming from, but I wouldn't underestimate them, because they may know and just don't care about the greater community. But I tell you who does care: the architects of MAGA. They know exactly what they're doing. This is a fight that has been going on, folks, for centuries. Centuries. They first started attacking our homeland, Africa. And I don't even want to hear this garbage about blacks not being from Africa. That is nonsensical, non-scientific. That's pure anti-intellectualism. I got a video coming out about that soon. But they first started attacking us on the African continent. And then, of course, they captured millions of us and forcefully brought us here. And that effort to subjugate the black man has continued to this day. And especially black men. Because if they can get black men to bow down and help them tear down democracy, if they can get black men to help them tear down democracy, if they can get black men to reject civil rights, to hate their own people, then MAGA wins. MAGA wins when black men do those things. Help tear down democracy. Reject civil rights. Hate on black women. Brothers, don't get played. And shall I say again, this is not a game. This is not some sort of online podcast debate. No, we're talking about the future, our future, your family's future, your children's future. You never should trust white supremacists, people who say the things or write the things or advocate the things. The rhetoric that I read you in the beginning should never, ever be trusted. So, if you need a pill, take God's pill. Take God's pill, which is really the gospel. You like what I did with that? God's pill, gospel. The gospel. Reject the red pill and reject the blue pill. And take God's pill, the gospel, because that's the pill of truth. That's the pillar of truth. That's the pillar and the peel of justice and fairness and righteousness. So if you need help, and yes, I've heard you. When I started doing this YouTube podcasting, I heard from many, many thousands of you. And I understand the hurt, the pain, the frustrations. And keep in mind, folks, I am a criminal defense and civil rights attorney. I have represented more of you African-American men, my brothers, more than I can count. And also keep in mind, I grew up in the hood. I'm a high school dropout. I know what it's like to come up in these United States of America as a black man. And it's my heart, it's my goal, it's my intention to empower you, to reach you with God's appeal, the gospel, and his kingdom. So you don't need to turn to our enemies. You don't need to betray our ancestors and our families and our children and our future. You don't need to do that. You don't need to sell your soul to people like Curtis Yarvin and J.D. Vance and Trump. They mean us no good. They're white supremacists. You don't need to sell your soul to them. So don't help the enemy tear down our rights, our freedoms that we have worked so hard and sacrificed so much to obtain. You see what Trump is doing. You see what MAGA is doing. So please reject that red pill. Take God's pill. Take the gospel. Stand with the truth. Fight for your children's future by rejecting that red pill. I am Reverend and Civil Rights Attorney Augustus Corbett. Thank you for watching this video. Brothers, stay woke.